You ever made a pie and then had leftover pie crust? What do you do with leftover pie crust? Well, I'm going to show you. Hi, I'm Julie, keeper of my home. Welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to share with you a recipe that was handed down from my grandmother. My mother showed me this when I was very young. It was a very popular recipe in my house, although it was only made when my mom made pies, which was usually Easter, Thanksgiving, Christmas. So it wasn't something that was made all the time. So since we only had it every once in a while, it was a real treat. So my mom was born and raised in Canada, and so this little delight has a Canadian name, I should say French name. It's grimace, which I'm not really sure if that can be translated into English, and if it did get translated, I'm not so sure it would make much sense. So I just tell my kids they're little pie crust roll-ups. So, and that seems to fit for an American version anyway. So what I'm going to do is I've made my pie crust ahead. I'm going to roll this out and we'll get started. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is I'm going to take my pie crust out of my food processor. Just take a little bit at a time. And we're going to roll it out. Okay, you want to get this so that it's in a rectangle. So I want to get it in a longer this way. It doesn't have to be perfect. Okay, so we're going to take some butter and we're going to apply it liberally all over the pie crust. Okay. Then we're going to take a mixture of brown sugar, cinnamon, and I put some pecans in here. You can put anything you want in here. You can add dates, little chopped up dates. I buy the sugared ones. That are already chopped up, and I put those in with it a lot of the time. Really pack this in here. It's really good, nice and full. I don't go too close to the edges because it seems to run out, and I'm going to tuck those in and try to get those tucked in and around. Okay, so you want to roll from your longest end. I usually tuck in my ends just so that I don't lose stuff. Then I take my longest end. I gently roll. You don't want to hurry this process because you don't want it cracking and breaking. Just slowly roll it. You can hear my dog barking. She's ready to come in. Okay. And then what we're going to do is I have a pan here. We're going to take a knife. I'm going to cut these into good size, about 1-inch slices, and put them on a parchment lined pan. Don't these look great? Oh, you should taste them when they're done. They're amazing. You can pretty much add whatever you like to these. I'm sure you could come up with some really great ideas. I'm going to put these in an oven, 350 degrees, until they're nice and golden. Okay, let's roll up our rest of our pie crust. This is a basic pie crust recipe. I say basic. It's my basic pie crust recipe. I'm not sure if it differs from yours, but I can leave the recipe below in my description box. Just click on the words that say show more, and that'll pull down and expand that description box, and you can see the recipe there. Okay, let's get this bunch rolled out. I hope you try these because I think you're really gonna like them. And we all make pies at some point or another for some holiday, so I feel like, you know, this is something that you can all try. And you know, like right now, I didn't make any pies today, but my husband asked me if I would make some of these. Like I said, they're a hit in my house. So I told him that I would, and I thought that this would be a great thing to show you. I did add dates to this one. So let's get dates, pecans, brown sugar, and cinnamon. We're going to tuck the ends in. And then roll. If you'd like, you can take an egg and scramble it up and brush each one. This is just going to give it a little bit more of a golden color to it. You don't have to do this step. You can certainly throw them in without doing this. The first batch, I did not do this, so I'll show you what it looks like one versus the other. So my husband likes them this way. Another thing you can do is if you have some turbinado sugar, which is it's a sugar in the raw. It's just like a larger grain brown sugar. You can sprinkle that on here because I used brown sugar in these. You can sprinkle that on those and just kind of gives it a little bit of a glistening to it. And I believe I am out of turbinado sugar right now, but that's just an extra thing that you can do if you'd like. Okay, so those are all coated, so let's get them into the oven. Don't they look delicious? Nice and golden. The ones on the right are the ones with the egg wash, and the ones here on the left are without the egg wash. So you can see there's not a tremendous amount of difference, but there's a little golden hue to the ones that have the egg wash. Well, I hope you enjoyed today's video. I hope you enjoyed learning my grandmother's grimace recipe. This is just a simple way to use a pie crust. I know everybody always has pie crust left over at the end of their pies. Even if it's 3 or 4 of these, they are worth it, trust me. And they're not gonna last long. Mine never do. I have some company coming over for dinner tonight, and these will probably be gone. So I will leave the recipe for the pie crust in the description box. Just click on show more. That'll drop that box down, expand it, and you can see the recipe in there. As far as the filling, it's about 1 cup of brown sugar, a tablespoon of cinnamon, and just whatever nuts, walnuts, pecans, almonds, whatever nut you want to put in there. Chop those up and add those, and you can add dates, you can add craisins, whatever you like basically. Just put in there. And the amount that I used was for the whole pie crust recipe. That's the crust recipe that I use is a 2 crust pie crust recipe. Again, if you're doing this with leftover pie crust, then you probably won't need that much, so just kind of gauge it to what you need. And I hope you enjoy it. It's a fun little recipe, something different. So if you haven't already subscribed, please subscribe to my channel. I'd love to have a new keeper or 2 added on to our family. And like the video below if you enjoyed what you see. And leave me a comment. Let me know how you like these, what you did, how you changed it up. Maybe you have a different idea. I'd love to hear about it. And until next time.